Alpha Bravo Bravo.
Charlie Zulu November, clear to land runway 13.
Charlie Zulu November, clear to land 13.
Zulu Sierra Alpha, change of plans, crossover midfield, join right downwind runway 13.
Greetings everyone, and welcome to Samir Flyer. I'm Dane Samir, and today's flight is taking us from, I'll show you on Navigraph where we're going. It's a short flight. We're going to be doing an IFR flight today using Beyond ATC, of course, and we are departing out of Gillett in Northeast Wyoming, and we're going to be departing from there, and we're going to be heading on an easterly direction over to the town of Rapid City, South Dakota. We're going to be using this VOR to get to Rapid City. It's only a 40 nautical mile VOR, so we will fly out using this VOR out of Gillett, which is also only a 40 nautical mile VOR. So the reception after 40 miles out of Gillett will end, and it's a total of 92 miles, so there'll be a space in between there that we will be using just the heading bug to navigate till this VOR gets picked up. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're flying the A36 Bonanza today, and without further ado, let's get things started. The tanks are full of fuel. We'll just crank open our mixture, full throttle. Our full props and full throttle. And we have the cowl flaps are open. Let's just make sure they're operating properly. That's closed. That's open. Okay, let's turn on the battery and the alternator. And we keep the standby alternator on in case this alternator decides to quit on us. Okay, let's turn on, let's just check our that's our temperatures and pressure and our cylinder head temperatures and the fuel flow. So let's turn on our fuel pump, put some fuel into those cylinders. There we are. Put in some fuel into the cylinders. We can shut that off. And parking brakes, let's make sure our parking brake is on, which it is. Let's turn our beacon light on and our nav light on. Okay, while we're here, let's check the temperature today is, it's about 7 degrees outside, 7 degrees Celsius. Let's crank over the engine and see what happens. Oh, first we need to reduce our throttle to about 1/2 inch. And magnetos are coming on. Yep, we have a good start. RPM's 1,000. The pressure has come up. The temperature will eventually come up once it's been running for a little while. Everything looks good here. We can turn our avionics on. So I've already filed a flight plan because we are going out IFR today. It's a beautiful day for flying. There's no weather in front of us, or behind us for that matter. We'll turn this over to yeah, that's all good. We'll turn the GPS over to nav because we're not going to be using the nav today. I mean the GPS, we're using nav. Old-fashioned flying using VOR for navigation. Alright, I will call up Beyond ATC. What we should do now is we have to wait for connection. Okay, it lost that connection. Let's shut this down and start Beyond ATC up again. I think it was on too long before actually clicking the fly button. That sounds better. There we go. Loading in our flight plan. While that's happening, let's just have a quick look at our flight plan on the GTN 750. So we're going to be leaving from yeah, this isn't right. We're going to be leaving from KGCC. We need to fix that. Give me 1 second here. Alright, that should be all okay. Let's bring Beyond ATC back up. Your flight plan does not contain at least one SID. No, I don't need a SID. Okay. He wants me to adjust the flight plan. Your flight plan does not contain at least one SID star or route waypoint more than 8 nautical miles from either airport. Adjust your flight plan and try again. Okay, give us 1 second to get this rectified. Okay, what I've done now is I have added... let me just bring Navigraph. I'll just show you Navigraph what I've done. What I've done is I've added this VOR to the flight plan because it seems as if Beyond ATC needs to have a waypoint more than 8 nautical miles from either the departing airport or the arriving airport. So hopefully this will allow us to continue with our flight, or with our IFR flight, I should say. Let's see what Beyond ATC does. I hope it accepts it. Yeah, it appears that it has accepted it. Just wait for it to finalize here. Initializing traffic. Excellent. Alright, that's all set correctly. So there is no tower at Gillett. So what we have to do, let's see if we can pick up our IFR clearance center. They may ask us to get airborne first before they give us our clearance. So let's just see if we can contact center and get our IFR clearance to Rapid City. Alright, let's try it and see. Clearance, Bonanza, November 64 Delta Whiskey. Like to pick up my IFR to Rapid City.
November 624 Delta Whiskey, Denver Center, cleared to Rapid City. Radar vectors Newcastle, then as filed. Maintain 8,000. Expect 9,000, 10 minutes after departure. Departure with me. Squawk 5342.
Cleared to Rapid City, radar vectors ECS, then as filed. Maintain 8,000, expect 9,000, 10 minutes after departure. Departure with you, Squawk 5342. So we'll put in our
624 Delta Whiskey, read back correct.
Put in our
Start
transponder.
taxi at pilot's discretion. Hold for release. Report holding short runway 16.
Start or taxi at pilot's discretion. Hold for release. Report holding short runway 16. Okay, so we are already started, and it looks like we're going to be using runway 16. Okay. Before we take off, let me just see what the winds are doing at Rapid City. Let me just check the airport at Rapid City. Let's check the weather. The weather at Rapid City is 150 at 4 knots. I should just show that to you what I'm doing here. Rapid City is 150 at 4 knots. So if it's 150 at 4 knots, we'll probably be using runway 14, I would think. Okay, so let's switch over back here and let's choose 14. And that might change, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so we're all set there. Let's close this down. Let's bring Gillett back up, and this is our taxiing. We're using 16, so he'll take us out on Delta, Alpha, cross 21, and then all the way to the end. Okay, so let's head out. Now because this is non-towered, we do need to use the CTAF frequency to let the local airport know what we're doing. So the CTAF is 118.5. Alright, so let's switch to 118.5 until we get to the hold short. So 1185 has been put in, and we'll just call them and let them know that we are taxiing. Gillett traffic, November 624 Delta Whiskey, Beach Bonanza, taxiing from the FBO to runway 16, Gillett. Alright, let's move this out of the way and let's get going. Alright, taxi lights are on. Need to turn to the right, get out onto Delta, taxiway Delta, which is right here. You can see over here what we're doing. And the other thing we should do is get our VOR frequencies tuned in. So that has to happen now. The first VOR that we want to pick up is GCC, which is the Gillett VOR, and that is a frequency of 1146. So we will tune that in over here, and we will put that into the active mode, and we'll put in the standby VOR, which is the intermediate VOR, ECS, which is 108.2. And that's in the standby mode. So going out to Gillett, we want to go out on a heading of about 109 degrees. So we'll set the CDI needle to 109 degrees. Alright, let's continue. Okay, we're coming up to the Alpha intersection. Which is right here. Is this the Alpha intersection? No, this might not be the Alpha. Yeah, it is the Alpha intersection. Oh, that's a rough taxiway. My goodness. This is a very rough taxiway. I would say there's something wrong with the scenery. Definitely something wrong with the scenery. So we're making our way down to the start of runway 16. And once we get there, we will call the CTAF frequency and advise the traffic that we are departing. So it's basically a straight out departure. That's to the southeast, I guess, really. Okay, let's call CTAF frequency. Gillette traffic, November 624 Delta Whiskey, holding short, runway 16 for a southeast departure. Gillette. Now let's switch back to now to the let's see here, where is a 1356? Yeah, that's 1356. Center, November 624 Delta Whiskey, holding short, runway 16, ready to depart.
November 624 Delta Whiskey, released for departure. Clearance void if not off by 145 Zulu. If not off by 145 Zulu, contact no later than 155 Zulu. Time now 124 Zulu. Frequency change approved.
Released for departure, clearance void if not off by 145 Zulu. If not off by 145 Zulu, contact no later than 155 Zulu. Time now 124, frequency change approved. Okay, let's make sure everything's ready to go. We've reduced our mixture a little bit because we are at 4,300 right now, and everything looks good. Instruments are in the green. We'll put in 1 notch of flaps. I would say we are ready to go. Okay. Landing lights are on and the strobe lights are on. Taxi lights are off. Power is being advanced. Slowly. We are on the move. Airspeed is alive. It's at 80 knots. We can rotate. We are airborne. We do have vertical speed is alive. Gears coming up. Flaps are coming up. Our climb will be 25 and 25. Let's turn to 109. And let's see if we can get the CDI needle to center. That'll take us to ECS, I think it's called. Yeah, ECS. Needle is coming in. Let's turn back. CDI needle has centered. Let's turn the autopilot on. He gave us 8,000 feet. Autopilot is coming on, nav mode. And we're just centering up the CDI. Once we reach 8,000 feet, we should be able to level off. Now we'll give center a call. Center, November 624 Delta Whiskey is with you at 6,500.
November 624 Delta Whiskey, Denver Center, radar contact, climb maintain 9,000 feet, altimeter 3005.
Climb and maintain 9,000, altimeter 3005. So he's given us 9,000. So we can go up to 9,000. And we need to climb at, don't want to burn the engine out. Manifold pressure of 25 and RPMs of 2,500. That's our power climb, coming up to 8,000. Let's check all the instruments. We're at 25 inches mercury, 2,500 RPM. Fuel flow is good. 15 gallons per hour. EGT is good. Cylinder head temperatures are in the green. Temperatures and oil temperature and oil pressure is in the green. How's our temperature outside? Temperature outside is 10 degrees. So we shouldn't have an issue with icing. There's no clouds in the sky. Pretty clear flight today. Should be leveling off here at 9,000. We're leveling off at 9,000. At this point we can let's just turn on these lights in case we need them. And we can close the cowl flaps now. Cowl flaps are closed. We're on the left tank. And we've got 2 full tanks of fuel. The left tank is just below full, and the right tank is on full. All is good there. Now that we're at cruise, we can reduce the manifold pressure to 23 inches of mercury. 24, 23 inches. There we are, and we'll maintain 2,500 RPM on the props. So that's set up nicely. We've got a ground speed of 187. We have 3.5 minutes to... No, that's not right. Newcastle is first. This one is wrong. Remove that. That's where we're going. And what we need to do is put in GCC. No, that's right. No, that's right. We're good. That's correct the way it is. So we have 14 minutes to ECS, I mean. beautiful day, crystal clear. We really don't need 9,000, you know. We could ask for a lower altitude, maybe come down to, although when we get to Rapid City, we will need 9,000. So we'll just leave it the way it is. Yeah, we'll just leave it the way it is. Let's see if we could play some music while we're flying along. Let's see, what music can I queue up? I will try a few different tunes, see what we get. Let's try this one. Let's try Classic Rose, see what that's like. Not sure if that's too loud. It sounds a little loud to me. Let me just make some adjustments here. Let me just see if this is any different. I'm not quite sure how that's going to come out on the recording, whether it's too loud or too soft. I think it's probably just right. So, what's happening outside? Landing lights are off, I think. Yes, they are. Nav lights are all on. Strobe lights are nowhere on. Look at the land below us. It's incredible. Beautiful.
November 624 Delta Whiskey. Contact Denver Center 127.
Contact Denver Center, 127.905. Denver Center, November 624 Delta Whiskey, 9,000.
November 624 Delta Whiskey, Denver Center, roger.
So we have 8.5 minutes to our intermediate VOR. I'll show you on Navigraph where we are and what that looks like. So we left Gillett. We went out on this VOR, which we're still on actually. And I should switch over to this one, which I will do right now. So let's get back in the cockpit. I'm going to tune this to heading while I switch radios. We'll switch this over to the 108.2. Which is ECS, and ECS is just a little bit off to the left, so we'll switch, turn nav mode back on, and the airplane should make a little left turn to center that CDI. And while we do that, we should also set up the final VOR at our destination of Rapid City, and the VOR there is 112.3. So let's put that in the standby. So that's in the standby there, right there. Like it's a little cool in the cabin. Temperature's a little low, so I think what we should do is get some heat coming in here. Let's pull the cabin heat, put that on, and we may as well put some in the aft cabin as well. We don't need defrosters, things like that, so that should be on. We don't need oxygen because we're only at 9,000. Look at that. The heat's already come into the cabin, and that low temperature light is off now. If it gets too high in here, the red light will come on, and then we can just adjust these levers. We have 5 minutes to ECS VOR. Show that to you on Navigraph. So we're coming up to ECS, then we'll turn left to a heading of 76 degrees, and that'll take us to the Rapid City VOR. And then we'll probably get...
Harrisburg 7815, turn right, heading 130.
Oh, that's not for us. That's some live traffic that you're hearing. So once we get to Rapid City VOR, hopefully we'll get a vector into we think, runway 14, which is this runway up here. So we're going to have to fly. I'm not sure how they'll vector us in, but we need to come in this way. Hopefully it will all work out. So we're getting close to ECS right now. Let's get back and look at the cabin. See what we need to do. We've got less than 4 minutes to ECS. Once we get close to ECS, we'll turn the heading bug to 76 degrees. In fact, we could turn that there now because we're on nav. We'll turn the heading bug to 76 degrees. So that'll be the turn, and that's the heading we need to go out of from ECS VOR. We got 8.5 nautical miles to go. What are the winds? The winds are looks like we've got a bit of a left quarter wind at 11 knots. Okay, we've got 2 minutes to the VOR. So very shortly here I'm going to turn this on heading mode and pick up that 76 degree radial out of ECS. And once we get established on, well, these gauges are hard to see. On the 76 degree, we'll turn the CDI needle to 76 and then line that up. So we've got 1 minute to go, and we'll make our turn. Absolutely no traffic in the skies tonight. We have about 30 seconds to go, and that's when I will make the turn. Put it on heading mode. At 30 seconds, here we go. It's on heading mode, we're turning to the left. I'm going to turn the CDI needle to 076. To line up with that to get us, so we need to go a little bit to the right. I guess we turned a little bit too soon. A little bit too soon. Let's turn back with the heading bug.
November 624 Delta Whiskey, turn left, heading 070, vectors for Rapid City.
Oh, they're giving us vectors.
In about 4 or 5 miles.
Oh wow, vectors from out here. Turn left heading 070, vectors for Rapid City. Expect further clearance in about 4 or 5 miles. Okay, so we need to turn left to 070. So we're no longer following the VOR. They're vectoring us in now. That's a long way out to vector us in from 54 miles out. However, that's what they'd like to do. That's fine with me. City VOR, it appears. How's our fuel? We may as well switch to the right tank now. So when you're switching tanks, you should always put the fuel pump on, so I will do that first. So I put the fuel pump on, and now we're going to switch to the right tank. There we go, well, we're on the right tank. Turn the fuel pump off. Too much heat in the cabin. The red light is on. So let's just reduce these levers a little bit. Push them in a little bit. Partway. You don't want to be sweating in here. We'll see if that red light goes out. So this Beach Bonanza is the Black Square analog gauge Bonanza, because normally the default Bonanza is all glass cockpit. But this is the NSFS 2020 version that I ported over to 2024. And once Black Square gets the 2024 version ready, I will acquire that and download it along with the Beech Baron, the twin-engine Beech Baron, which is my favorite twin-engine aircraft. So, looking forward to that. Let's see, how are our gauges? We've got 23 inches, 2500 RPM. I think I will increase the manifold pressure a bit.
November 624 Delta Whiskey, Denver Center. Expect radar vectors, runway 14.
Expect radar vectors, runway 14. Well, that's the runway we thought we'd be getting. I'm going to increase our manifold pressure just to get a little bit more speed going. Just put it up to 24 inches and see what that does. See whether that'll push our speed up a little. It did a little bit. I'm gonna put it up to 25 inches, why not? Get a little bit more speed happening. We're at 150 knots. Although we do have a nice tailwind, we're at 188 ground speed. So we have 12 minutes to the, approximately 12 minutes to the airport. I really like this airplane. It's for single engine. It's a really nice airplane. Unfortunately, the tables don't work because the 2020 version is a Microsoft 2020 airframe, and all Black Square did was change the glass panel to analog gauges. So things like the doors don't open because it's a 2020 Microsoft aircraft. But when 2024 comes out, I'll be looking forward to that. So it appears we're going to be landing on runway 14. So that's nice. At least we know what we're going to be doing. And they're vectoring us in, so we'll just wait for their commands and we'll follow them. Let me just check the information for the airport right now. Our destination airport, Rapid City. So open up the airport, have a look at the weather. Yeah, winds are 150 at 3 knots, 10 statute miles. Sky is completely clear, no clouds whatsoever. Altimeter 3008. Temperature 11, dew point 6 degrees. That all looks good. Elevation is 3,200 feet. All good. How's our timing? We have about 8.5 minutes. Actually, that is to the Rapid City VOR, which we are not going to because they are vectoring us directly to the airport.
Delta Whiskey, turn left, heading 055.
Turn left, heading 055.
November 624 Delta Whiskey, Rapid City landing runway 14.
I'm going to click on the automated response just to hear what it sounds like. I never ever use it, but I will click on it.
Rapid City, landing runway 14, November 624 Delta Whiskey.
Okay, not bad.
November 624 Delta Whiskey, altimeter 3009er, expect the visual approach runway 14.
Altimeter 3009er, expect the visual approach runway 14, November 624 Delta Whiskey. That's exactly what I want, visual approach, runway altimeter 30.09. Let's put that in. That moved us up about 20 feet or 40 feet. So I'll quickly show you what's happening on the map. So we're now veered off to a heading of 055. And the runway is here. So we're obviously going to be, where's our airplane? So we're coming out here, and then I guess we're going to go right over the city of Rapid City, and then I imagine they'll bring us into 14. I would imagine anyway. We'll see. Looks like there's a small airport right up there. All is working to plan. What's on the message here? It's probably telling me to make a turn. Yeah,
November 624 Delta Whiskey, descend maintain 4,200, altimeter 3009er.
Descend and maintain 4,200, altimeter 3009er. Alright, we're down to 4,200.
SkyWest 4665, Denver Center. Expect radar vector.
4,200. Take the altitude hold off, and we'll put some downstream in.
Runway 13, SkyWest 4665.
That's live traffic for some other airport.
November 624 Delta Whiskey, turn right, heading 070, descend and maintain 4,000, vectors for the approach.
Now they want me to turn right to 070. Turn right heading 070, descend and maintain 4,000, vectors for the approach. So they want me to come down to 4,000 and turn right to 070. Alright. Show you on Navigraph what's happening. So we're just making that, we were coming up like this, now we're going like this. I guess they're getting us more squared up to the runway. So far, everything's working according to plan.
November 624 Delta Whiskey, airport is at your 1 o'clock 13 miles. Report the field in sight.
Airport is at my 1 o'clock. I don't actually see the field.
November 624 Delta Whiskey, airport is at your 1 o'clock 13 miles. Report the field in sight.
I don't know if that's it there or not. Looking for field. So we're over Rapid City right
SkyWest
now.
4665, contact Minneapolis Center 126.8. Center on 126.8, SkyWest 4665. Have a good evening.
Where is the airport? Okay, so there's a highway. There's this highway. Okay, there's that road there. So I would say that this must be the airport right out here. It's gotta be. But honestly, I don't actually see it. There's an aircraft out here. Okay, that's the airport. That's got to be the airport there. That's got to be the airport right there. It's so hazy out that I'm having a hard time seeing that airport. But that's an aircraft, so that's the airport there. Okay.
November 6-2, 4 Delta Whiskey, field in sight.
November 624 Delta Whiskey, cleared visual approach runway 14.
Cleared visual approach runway 14. Alright, I think I should take the autopilot off now.
November 624 Delta Whiskey, contact Rapid City Tower 125.85.
125.85. Rapid City Tower, November 624 Delta Whiskey, is turning final for runway 14.
November 624 Delta Whiskey, Rapid City Tower, wind 140 at 4, runway 14 cleared to land.
Wind 140 at 4, runway 14 cleared to land for Delta Whiskey. So we kind of overshot it a little bit. So we're just coming back. Okay, gears coming down. 1 notch of flaps. Fuel pump is coming on. Pitot heat is coming on. Landing lights are coming on. That's 14 there. Field elevation is 3,200. So we're at 500 feet above the field right now. Putting in a 2nd notch of flaps. We want to make a 80 knots for our touchdown speed. We have full props. We're at 90 knots. Whoops, 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 whoops. I have 3 notches of flaps in. Okay, hold it right there. Reduce power. And let's flare. Very nice landing. I think we missed the turn off there.
November 624 Delta Whiskey, exit right at Bravo.
Exit right at Bravo. I'm gonna have to make a little turn around to get to Bravo. Just past Bravo. This is Bravo right here. Exit right at Bravo.
November 624 Delta Whiskey. Contact ground 121.9er.
121.9er, thanks for your service.
November 624 Delta Whiskey. Contact ground 121.9er.
I guess he didn't hear me. 121.9er. Rapid City ground, November 624 Delta Whiskey. Request taxi to the ramp.
November 624 Delta Whiskey. Welcome to Rapid City Airport. Say parking or advise if need assignment.
So this is where they treat you like an airliner, and you gotta pretty much just tell it whatever you want. Taxi to any ramp.
November 624 Delta Whiskey. Ramp 1 tree taxi via Bravo, Alpha.
Ramp 13, taxi via Bravo, Alpha. Alright, I'll show you on the map where we are. So he wants us to taxi on Bravo and then Alpha, and then I'll just pick any place to park in here. General aviation ramp will be fine. Okay, flaps have been stowed. Strobe lights are coming off, taxi lights are coming on, landing lights are coming off. And I think we'll just turn in right over here on the right. Let's see, where can we park? We'll park right over here. Right here. Make a sharp left. No. Let's park it right here, right by the grass. This is where I want to park it. Okay, so we have reached our destination. Let's shut down the aircraft and then we'll just talk about how it went. So, mixture is lean. Shut the engine off. Props are back. Throttle is back. Magnetos are coming off. Nav lights are off. Taxi lights are off. Beacon lights are off. Avionics are off. Alternator is off. Pitot heat is off. And the fuel pump is off. And the battery is off. So, all in all, I thought it was a really good flight. I thought Beyond ATC did a really nice job. Let me just move that over here. Yeah, I thought Beyond ATC did a really nice job of controlling and vectoring me and getting me to the airport safely without any incident. And I'm quite happy with that. So I'm glad you guys came on board with me. And the next time we fly, we may find a completely different area to fly in. Maybe somewhere down in the south in the Caribbean or someplace. We'll see. But for now, thanks for flying Samir Flyer. I'm Dane Samir. Gonna wish you goodbye. And remember, when you fly, keep the wings at the top, keep the wheels at the bottom. Catch you the next time.
Foxtrot Bravo Bravo Tower, fly runway heading.
Fly runway heading, Foxtrot Bravo Bravo.
Charlie Zulu November, clear to land runway 13.
Charlie Zulu November, clear to land 13.
Zulu Sierra Alpha, change of plans, cross over midfield, join right downwind runway 13.